Thanks for watching Keeping It Real Sports.
Yes, sir. Rocky Yassin, keeping it real sports.
Appreciate you, brother.
Hey, Taylor Rapp here from the LA Rams. Shout out to Steve Taylor, the real sports guy, and the honorary Ram. When Steve's talks sports, you better listen. Thanks, Steve, from the Rams, for your continued support and love.
With Prince Bell, we rocking with Keeping It Real Sports, and we gonna be on this. We gonna be on a lot of times. I love the platform. Check in. It's the new wave. Like, follow, subscribe, and do all that good stuff.
Come on, come on. Told you I got you. Wanna talk about his game, he can talk about it. Tennis, match, golf, he can talk about it. Don't matter what it is, he can talk about it. Any sport dude, he know about it. Safe boy bum, don't doubt it. If he tell you that it is what it is, the real sports guy in the sand. Talk show game in the bag, man. Rep, don't have to throw the flag, man. Steve Taylor, and it's over. OVA, game over, they don't play. From the fourth quarter to the ninth inning, NASCAR wheels keep spinning. To the 18th hole, he's still in control. Guy on the go. Coach never missing the play, cause he know the deal. This keeping it real. Sports. Come on. Keeping it real. Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go indeed. It's the Monday edition. It's Reaction Monday. And boy, do we have a lot to react about. We got to talk about the college football playoff. It's set. We've got the 4. But does Florida State have a case? We'll talk about that. And since we're talking college football, where does that leave the Buckeyes? We'll talk about that as the transfer portal opens up. I've got NFL shout-outs to give out to people that you might not be suspecting me to. But I'm going to give out a little bit of love, and I'm going to recap the pick 6 that we had from over the weekend. Again, it's another big show. I am so glad that you could join me. And like always, I can't wait to tell you what's hot off to Keep Your Real Sports Press. Well, the college football playoffs are all set. We know the matchups. It's the Michigan Wolverines, the number 1 ranked Michigan Wolverines. They take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Washington, Texas, they'll do it in their tilt. But the team that's left me to come to is Florida State, as they left asking the question, what about us? And that's exactly what I want to get to. What about you? You don't have a quarterback. Last time I checked, your quarterback has broken his ankle. But what I want you to look at, people, is in that illustration down at the bottom. I want you to notice the score of the team that they're playing. At the time he broke his ankle, they're behind North Alabama 13-0. Now, that poses me to ask the question, how good are you really? Because your best win is against a 3-loss SEC team, and we saw that. We saw that same SEC team that made its way into the college playoff, that being the Alabama Crimson Tide, once they dismantled number 1 Georgia, get the nod over Florida State. So I asked the question, was Florida State robbed? And for that, I want to go inside the numbers, and I want to bring in my good friend Jason Robinson. Jay Rao, how you doing, man? What's going on? And how's everything going? You got to open up your mic, brother. You got to open up your mic. As we get him to open up his microphone and everything, we'll get him back in a second to get it his reaction on all of this. But as I recap and I talk about Florida State in particular, and the big question about them is how they never finish strong. And the big question they keep saying is, well, Ohio State had a third-string quarterback, and they got in. But that says third-string quarterback dropped the entire house up on said opponent in conference championship, where you did not. Once again, playing with your food, like I said all year. So it goes back to the Clemson game. It goes back to the Duke game. And even last week against Florida. So what do you get for your troubles? Well, why don't you show me how damn good that you really are as we send you to the Orange Bowl to play the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, Vegas tells me that you're 14-point underdogs in that affair. So, Jason Robinson, I hope we got your we're still trying to get volume from Jason. Okay. Trying to get him in the. There we go. I think not. Don't have you. Still working on that. So again, where does that leave the Ohio State Buckeyes? As we've been talking about Florida State. Well, the Ohio State Buckeyes go to the Cotton Bowl where they take on the Missouri Tigers. Now, my question from there is Ryan Day. Now, what does Ryan Day do now that Kyle McCord, his quarterback, has entered the transfer portal? Now, Buckeye fans, you've been asking for this kid's head all year. Now, if I told you before the season started, Buckeye fan, that your quarterback would throw 24 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, throw for 3,100 yards, complete 65% of his passes, I'm pretty damn sure that you would sign up for that. So you got to be careful what you ask for. So now you get rid of him, and then we got the drop pass guy, Julian Fleming. They both enter the transfer portal now. So where does that leave the Ohio State Buckeyes, in particular at the quarterback position? That is the main question. Where does that go? Well, my question is probably Lincoln Kindholz. That's the quarterback that's been waiting. If we listen to what Marvin Harrison Sr.'s been saying about this kid the entire season, he should have been the quarterback instead of Kyle McCord, because he has the big-time college quarterback arm that the Ohio State Buckeyes are looking for. Well, he's going to get that chance. And then that gets me to Marvin Harrison Jr. Is this really the last look that you want to have as an Ohio State Buckeye? Is that really what the look you want to give? And early reports are telling me that Marvin is leaning toward returning to Ohio State, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea. So there we go. But that gets me to the Buckeyes in particular, and where does that leave Ryan Day? Careful what you ask for, Ryan Day. Reports tell me that you kind of pushed the kid to going to the transfer portal, that you really didn't have much to say about it. So I'm going to try to get Jason in. Jason, can you hear me? You can hear me, but I can't hear you. We're going to keep working on getting his volume together. We're going to get him into this program because, man, I'm really interested in hearing what he has to say. But it's real interesting to see where the Buckeyes go from here. Again, the Cotton Bowl, we don't know who the quarterback is, but we know that Aaron Nolan is on his way. In fact, he tweeted yesterday that he is coming in January. So January is the ETA. Aaron Nolan, what is he? Well, he's a 6'3", 220-pound quarterback with a big arm, the big-time arm. He's compared to Justin Fields coming in to college. So Aaron Nolan on the way. But if you're Ryan Day, do you turn the keys of the car over to a pure freshman quarterback? That is the question to ask. But for right now, who's going to be the quarterback? I think it's probably going to be Lincoln Kindholz. And I'm going back to our top matchups. I got into a debate yesterday. I was on several shows anticipating the matchups, and I got into heated, friendly but heated debates over whether who would get in and who would not get in. And I said all along that Alabama would get in on the strength of their win over Georgia, which indeed they did. In fact, I said, I won't tell you the 4 teams. I'll give you the matchups. Indeed, exactly what I had. And I think the committee got it right with Washington against Texas. There's no way that Alabama could get in over Texas because Texas beat Alabama. So you keep that. And now you put Michigan, who's been going around. You remember they had the cheating scandal. So now if you're number one and you're number one with a bullet, then you shouldn't be afraid to play the Alabama Crimson Tide. So I really don't want to hear a foul coming from Michigan fans talking about that Florida State got hosed. No, they didn't. Man, the eyeball test matters, and my eyeballs tell me that Florida State, you just wasn't damn good enough to make it into this field, okay? I don't want to hear about fair. Fair is a place where they judge period. That's period, point blank, in the story. So we go back to the number 1 team. We go to the Michigan Wolverines. It's going to be an interesting matchup against the number 4 Alabama Crimson Tide. You knew they would get in once they beat Georgia. Friday night, we saw what Washington could do. You told us all along that Oregon was going to beat Washington. In fact, you put them as a 9.5-point underdog. I said there's no way on God's green earth that they're 9.5 points better. In fact, I'm going to take the money line on them. Exactly what I did. The Huskies, congratulations to them. And it's going to be a fantastic matchup against the Texas Longhorns. And remember, Buckeye fans, the quarterback for the Texas Longhorns was in your locker room just 2 years ago, Quinn Ewers. So that's something that you can keep eye on. A little bit of more salt that's going into the wound, if you will. So there you go. That's my look on college football. But you know, the pros are putting it down and the NFL storylines are flying. This is what I call NFL storylines. And so we start NFL storylines with giving out a little bit of love. And I got to start with my people in Kansas City. Yeah, Chrisley, I know that you like those doggone Packers. I know that you a Packer backer. I hear you out there talking about how come you don't never show Jordan love, no love. Well, I didn't have any reason to show Jordan any love until yesterday. But Jordan Love showed up and he showed out in not just one performance, but 2 performances, because I saw him on Thanksgiving as he got up to put down those mighty Detroit Lions. So another big performance for Jordan Love. So thumbs up to Jordan Love. We show you your love, and I hope that Jason Robinson can hear me. Are you back in with us now yet? Because I got to talk about the pass interference or non-pass interference that was called or not called at the end of the game. Was it pass interference? Well, Stevie Wonder could see that it was probably pass interference, but the kid got away with it. And sometimes, Kansas City, when you play too close, man, to the cup, you get burned sometimes. And that's what happened to the Kansas City Chiefs last night. So that gets me to showing more love. And I got to give some hometown love to my LA Rams, and in particular, Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald showed up, and he showed Myles Garrett, who is one of the best, and I have to give him credit. He is one of the best defenders in the NFL, who the real defender in the NFL was. And in turn, what they did was they introduced him to a guy named Puka Nacua. Now, early on, I have to give credit to the Browns because they had a great plan. They brought in Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco getting it done. Man, they had a great scheme, wide open. Yeah. But what you forget, and what people tend to forget, that the Rams have a guy named Matthew Stafford who checks to the quick slant, and it's a guy named Puka Nacua, and he hits his head on the goal post. Yes, sir. The Rams showed up. the Rams showed out. And people, let me introduce you to Puka Nacua. Yeah, LA Rams. Which gets me to my pick 6. The Detroit Lions against the New Orleans Saints. Now, I had this predicted. People going into this week, after this week, went 5-1 this week. After this week, 78 games picked. We're 56-22. So we're pretty darn good at doing this. We said that the Detroit Lions would win 34-21. They played with their food a little bit, but they came away with the 33-28 victory. Jared Goff made the plays when he had to. You got to give credit where credit is due. The game that I said there would be a dud, I thought the Jets would have just a little bit more than what they did. Well, I thought they would win it 15-13. This is the one that I got wrong this week, but it was real ugly. It was 13-8, so we were almost spot on the score. Let's go to another young quarterback who has been doing nothing but putting it totally down. And if it wasn't for C.J. Stroud, Puka Nacua would probably be your hands-down rookie of the year. But, man, what this kid does week in and week out, you got to give credit where credit is due. In particular, I'm talking about C.J. Stroud. Man, he just never seems to fail under pressure. But the thing is, the defense showed up and kind of helped him out this week. You know, when they showed up, man, the young guy, man, is looking down the gun barrier. Look at the little things he's doing. He does them so well. Checks down. He sees the guy open. There you go. Touchdown. He puts his team up front. And they have to rely on the defense. But they brought DeMeco Ryans in for his defensive purposes. And even though Russ was cooking to a degree, the defense said, that's enough. We're going to put him down, and we'll close it out. Don't worry, coach. We got you. And this is the play of the game. This is the play that steals it away. Look, Russ trying to cook, but the young Texan said, no deal. Coach, don't worry. We got your back. And C.J. Stroud and company move into the playoff picture. Big time win. So there you go, man. Hats off to C.J. Stroud and company as they continue their role. Another ugly game and was the Buccaneers and the Panthers. I had the Panthers winning this one 23-13, but it was a little bit closer than that. They was 21-18. And the ugliest game of the day, oh my gosh, did you see this one? People 27-10 is the way I thought it. This was even uglier. 6-0 affair. Man, that doesn't even warrant talking about. But what does warrant talking about is the game of the day, the game of the week, the Philadelphia Eagles against the San Francisco 49ers. This was the get-back game. This was the game that everybody was talking about, okay? The Eagles on social media was like, look, man, if you were so tough, you should have handled your business, man. We knocked your quarterback out, man. Well, we'll see when we get to the link on Sunday. Well, we got to the link on Sunday, even though it was, man, horrid conditions. But on the link on Sunday, defense travels. And we see the 49ers strutting this stuff. They've got Devo. They've got Trent Williams. They said, but don't worry, we've got Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts wasn't fighting the 49ers early on. He was fighting the element. As you see, watch him just slip. The element monster tackles him right there. He goes down. As you see him looking down the field, element monster. And the defense once again showed up. It was 6-0 after one quarter. But the 49ers said enough of that. And they started to utilize their weapons. Man, it's a Brock Purdy as he finds George Kittle, and the tight end rumbles down the field, and he starts to get the party started for the 49ers. And they have the Eagles on stage. Once again, Brock Purdy, he's out, and he finds Brandon Ayuk. You notice the different names that we're starting to say here. It's Ayuk. Yeah, that's a catch, man. I don't care what camera you look at. It's a catch. You got to give love to where love is, man. He made the catch. Yeah, coach, he caught it. And the San Francisco 49ers are starting to get up in the atom. There, Brock Purdy again. Didn't I say George Kittle? Well, let me introduce myself to you once again. George Kittle, once again, with the big-time play. And the 49ers are in business. Hey, they have the best running back in the business. His name is Christian McCaffrey. Did you know about him? Well, if you didn't, the shame on you. You should have figured it out last night. third quarter action. Now, people, let me tell you, in 6 drives, the 49ers took the ball down the field 6 different times. And it's McCaffrey once again. Yeah, coach, it's a problem over there because they're coming at you again. Debo Samuel, he takes it in. Man, I'm telling you, the 49ers have all the answers to the test, on the questions to the test. Debo Samuel makes a difference. Remember, he didn't play last year, people, but he's in yesterday. Yeah, it's a problem, Philly fan. You start to feel it. It's like, look, we got our own guy, too, who can get it done, man. We've got a Heisman Trophy winner. They go to the Heisman Trophy winner. But Greenlaw says, get on the ground now. And it started the scrum, and the scrum was on. And we saw the coach and the sideline security gets involved. Like, you get some too. Everybody, you want some? Get some. That's kind of how it was all night for the Eagles, man. You got to tip your cap to the 49ers as they get it done. Man, they win this one 42-19. My hat's off to the Niners, as they are definitely, hands down, our team of the week. Man, and as I continue on, I got a chance to look at the Ohio State basketball team. And the more that I watch this team, and then the more that I really break this thing down and I look at it, I'm kind of impressed with the job that Chris Holtmann has done with a team, especially on the defensive side, man. Pretending we've been playing this game, and I really wasn't sure. I've asked other people on the show, are they a true contender or a pretender? Well, I'm starting to lean toward a contender. Well, why would you say that, Steve? Well, the main reason is because guard play. And we all know in the NCAA, you have to have great guard play. Well, the Buckeyes have that. Roddy Gale's starting to come around. He's averaging 15 points a game. Bruce Thornton is no longer a Robin. He's the Batman on this team, man. And anytime the Buckeyes need a big basket, he's involved in it. And every team knows if you want to cut off the head of the snake, you got to cut this guy off. The other reason why I think the Buckeyes are contenders this year, because of what they didn't have last year. Or what didn't they have was outside shooting. But what they did is they went out and they addressed that through the transfer portal. They get Jamison Battle, who came up big last night, over 20 points, as he gets his first Big Ten action, man, getting it done, man, from the outside. But the other, I said they were looking for outside shooting. Well, not only did they depend on Jamison Battle, they go and get Dale Bonner, the fine shooting guard from Baylor, who also is a defensive specialist. So he's going to take your best offensive player, and then he is going to D him up and then give him the business. And I tell you, the other piece of the puzzle that's been getting business that the Buckeyes got in the transfer portal is effing Mahaffey, who's a slasher. He's a 3-and-D guy who has the ability to guard bigs on the wing. And I love the way that the energy that he brings attacking the rack and getting to the ball to the basket, man. Evan Mahaffey definitely makes a big deal for the Buckeye team. So my hat's off to them. And then Felix Okpara, the big 6'11" guy who blocks everything. Last year, he shot about 46% from the free throw line, but he's turned that totally around this year. So you put that all together, yeah, man, Buckeye fans, man, we might be into something, man. I hope that we could figure this thing out, man, and I think they can be one of the top teams in the league. So that gets me to Monday Night Football. Ohio in action, man. They're going to Duval to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. We've seen sunshine, and on paper, going into the season, it was sunshine against Joe Burrow. Now, this one here is going to be a one-sided affair. Who you got? Well, I'll tell you who I got. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars in this one. I like the Jaguars winning tonight 27-13. I like the Jaguars. 27-13 tonight. So before I get out of here, I got to go back. I want to go back and just kind of recap some of the things that happenings, the reactions from the weekend, college playoffs, Michigan against Alabama. Early line on that was, I think it was 3.5 points. Michigan was the favorite, 3.5 point favorite. Early line on the other game had Texas a 3-point favorite against Washington, man. And early on, if I had to bet it, man, give me Alabama and the points, man, and give me the Washington Huskies and the points. But that's early on. We'll watch that and see how that goes as we continue on. Kyle McCord enters the transfer portal. And I mean, was it a snap judgment? I don't know. My sources told me that Ryan Day rather suggested that the kid seek the transfer portal. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to get a chance to check and make sure that that was a concrete. But man, I was getting reports at 7 o'clock this morning. But that leaves me the question, what is Ryan Day going to do from here? Well, he better have an answer, because not only is McCord in the transfer portal, so is Julian Fleming. And Buckeyes are going to be needing a quarterback for a really tough bowl game that they got coming up against Missouri. And Missouri was one of the top 2 teams in the SEC conference. So they're number 9 ranked. So this is a top 10 matchup, another top 10 matchup for the Ohio State Buckeyes this year. So this is not going to be easy sledding by any means. Early line on this is Buckeyes by 3.5. But without a quarterback, man, I'm going to be definitely taking that line and watching it and keeping all of that into consideration. Early indications tell me that Lincoln Kindhorse is the quarterback in waiting for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Lincoln Kindhorse is the quarterback that Marvin Harrison Sr. wanted all season. So Buckeye fans, be careful what you ask for, because you just may get it. McCord in the transfer portal, along with Julian Fleming. And then the last thing, man, early reports tell me that Marvin Harrison Jr. may be leaning toward returning. I mean, is this really the last image that you want us Buckeye fans to think about you? That and the fact that you didn't fight for an interception that you probably should have fought for, you could have fought harder for, and now you watched your boy get pushed into the transfer portal. Beside that, let's go out. We're going to go out looking at that, just what I'm talking about there. That interception that has him sitting on the deck, just like that.
A touchdown inside the 10-yard line. So here's Will Johnson, who's locked on Marvin Harrison. Look at the inside leverage he plays with. So Harrison's trying to run this inside break route, but because there's a safety over the top, Will Johnson can swat on this route and even play heavy inside, in particular because Harrison is telegraphing his route a little bit, and now all he's got to do is beat him to the spot. Now, I would expect a little bit more fight from Marvin Harrison Jr. right there, because Will Johnson beats him to the spot, and he intercepts the ball. That is a massive play, a turnover. Then he gets the ball down inside the 10-yard line, deep red area. Michigan's able to score. That is a massive play, and a great job by Will Johnson. And what they would have seen on film is that Will Johnson has 6 interceptions in his career.
So is that going to be the last we see of Marvin Harrison Jr.? Early reports say, not so fast, my friend. So we shall see. Hey, look here. Another one in the books, boy. It's been fun, but I'm going to have to run, boy. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Keeping It Real Sports Network. The Keeping It Real Sports Network on Facebook as we stream live. The Keeping It Real Sports Network on YouTube as we stream live, and all the multiple different outlets, man. I don't care how you get the show, just get the show, man. We got people in Kansas City listening to us. We got people, man, in Oakland, California that listen to us, man. We got people all over that watch us. Make sure you leave us your comments because we'll put them up. And I'll definitely answer you, man. Again, like, subscribe, and tell a friend to bring a friend, man, so we can all be friends, okay? So until next time, I wish you love and I wish you peace. I'll see you Thursday with a whole lot more. Fucking deuces.
Come on, come on. I told you I got you. Wanna talk about his game, he can talk about it. Tennis, match, golf, he can talk about it. Don't matter what it is, he can talk about it. Any sport dude, he know about it. Savior boy bum, don't doubt it. If he tell you that it is what it is, the real sports guy in the sand. Talk show game in the bag, man. Rep, gon' have to throw the flag, man. Steve Taylor, and it's over. OVA.